Man, I gotta tell you, Dan, we got a lot of exciting stuff going on, don't we? Yeah, it's great. Really appreciate your input on that.
What were we talking about?
Anyways, back to our regular programming.
We do have a lot of exciting stuff going on lately.
Dude, things are
starting to come to a head. We hear this week from the Attorney General of New York that Cuomo was indeed a piece of shit.
Yep.
Not only was he sexually harassing women, but he specifically singled out one woman, police officer, brought him to his personal security detail so that he could sexually harass her. I mean, this is David and Bathsheba kind of situation.
But here's what I'll tell you. You got to give...
That's an old school biblical reference right there that no one is going to get unless they look up. First of all, they're going to have to try to figure out how do you spell Bathsheba in the first place, right? King David's firstborn son was killed, right? Because he had an affair with a woman named Bathsheba. She was married to one of his generals. He sent his general out to the front line to get
Bathsheba
killed.
was the wife of Uriah.
Yeah, Uriah Faber.
Yeah.
So not Uriah Hall, obviously.
But anyways,
who got fucking torched this week?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a flurry. He looked like
But nothing's going to happen.
The woman that the Killer Bee fought. That's what that looked like. It looked like that fight, the bare knuckle fight. Anyways, yeah, nothing will happen. I mean, there's quotes from him from 2013, believe all victims. 2018 about the Kavanaugh thing, believe all victims. And it plays into the theme of today's show, which is rules for thee and not for me, right? I mean, that is the fucking standard in American politics. And maybe it's the standard for government and aristocracies since the beginning of time. Right?
So before we get into this show, because we're going to be talking about COVID and the hypocrisy.
Yep.
You know, I want to start off with saying one of the biggest atrocities that the government and the fucking us over that the government has done is they have made this virus political.
Mm-hmm.
And the only people who deserve to have, or who truly have blood on their hands are the politicians who have made this political. Look, this virus is a dangerous virus. There is no arguing that. There is no arguing the fact that it can kill you. There's no arguing the fact that we can all do better on how to do this. But the fact is that nobody even knows what the real fucking information is to where they can make real fucking decisions on how we can all be best for it, right? Like, that's what's really fucked up about it. Like, it's not about, oh, it's just a flu. It's not just a flu. I mean, listen, the flu's not killing 30-year-olds with no prior history.
Well, I mean, it is and it isn't, right? It's the flu. It's the influenza before we developed years of antibodies.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%. And like, yeah, it is only a small amount. But what I will tell you is this is affecting everybody right now.
Right.
Like,
not just medically.
Not just medically.
Right.
But I'm saying I don't think that there has been one single thing that has affected the United States of America, everyone across you can say the world
since
World War II.
Maybe the housing crisis in 08, 09, maybe, I guess 9/11 probably.
9/11
to some degree, just because of travel.
World War II. Everybody.
The gas shortage.
Everybody's
in the late 70s under Carter, maybe.
Everybody's
but this
fucking
one
in
is this one's different. There's very few. There's very few levels of commerce that are unaffected by this, right? I mean, we're one of them, obviously, because people had to stay at home. Amazon is one of them, but for small businesses, there's very few that aren't affected by this.
But I'm also even going to go a little bit further. Almost everyone knows somebody who has died from this. And
I don't
think
so. Do you know anybody, Giorgio, that's died from COVID? Yeah. I mean, I know of people.
So
sure,
you know of people. So I mean, it's kind of one of those deals that, like, and I'll just tell you up front what kind of changed my perspective on it. Am I scared of it? No, I'm not scared of it. But one of my best friends, his girlfriend, like, they found out her grandpa had COVID last week. Her grandpa died Thursday, and then her dad died Sunday.
Right.
From COVID. And you can't argue the fact of what that does to a family. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but that's proximity bias, right? Because it happened somewhere closer to you, it amplifies the effects of it. But in the aggregate, the numbers are still not remarkable.
Well, and nobody's saying they are, but I'm
Right.
just saying that, like, it's not something, but nobody really even knows the numbers because it's so fucking political.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
we know is 646 people died of the flu last year instead of 20 to 60,000.
Like, either way though, we're all still trying to figure out what's real and what's not because of how, and it comes down to one thing: the fucking politicians of our country.
Yeah, they've been. I think in some cases, they've probably lied outright for their own benefit. I think in most cases, it's like the affirmative action thing, the subtle racism of low expectations. They think people are too stupid to make their own decisions, and that's how aristocracies form, by the way.
We are.
So they start to form fucking draconian rules over these people, and people naturally rebel against them. You know what I mean? It's stupid.
But think about this, and I'll tell you where I was surprised on the first wave of this COVID. I mean, did you ever think that they would be able to shut the world, like shut the nation? Did you ever think that people would abide by a lockdown?
Yeah.
I never did.
People are fucking stupid.
But I never thought they'd be able to do it, and as long as they did. Like, I never
People don't understand how the government works at all, so they don't understand how to fight back against the government working against them. That's a real fucking problem.
Let me finish my point.
Yeah.
I never thought they would be able to do that. I never thought they'd be able to get everybody to be wearing these fucking masks. People to believe in this. So what I think is a disgrace is that the last piece of trust that people had in politicians and in our government, they used it at the expense of misinformation the way that they did. I don't think there's any way they could lock us down again. I don't think there's any way anybody would fucking abide by it. And
we'll see, right?
We're about to see.
New York is about to institute Cuomo. I don't know if to distract from the fact that he's about to get charged with all kinds of crimes because he, according to the Attorney General, he broke both state and federal law.
He's not getting charged with shit.
But I'm sure it's a little bit of magician's patter right now. But they've instituted a rule where you have to be vaccinated to eat in public.
At restaurants.
Like to go inside of a building that you don't own.
I just don't think, man. I don't fucking think that they can shut us down again. And I don't think that they can make us all wear masks again.
Nevada's going back to mask, allegedly.
Allegedly. I will, and I might eat my words.
LA already did.
Yeah,
but think about the places we're talking about here.
Let's look at the places we're talking about. I just don't fucking think. I'll tell you what, I don't think it's going to happen in Texas. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
It can't happen in Texas. It would be Abbott would have to reverse his executive order. The executive order says right now that mask and vaccine mandates illegal.
And he would never. And you see, but I think what's badass is you seen what Florida just came out and did.
No, I didn't see.
I mean, they came out and said that you're definitely not having to get a vaccine, right? Like they're definitely They came out and they're backing all that.
We'll see. I mean, one of the school boards in the area, I think the northern part of Miami is suing because they want to have mandatory vaccination. Yeah, I mean, first of all, there's not even an approved vaccine for children. I mean, this was for a school board, not for.
So the other thing, but here's the other thing, and I think in California, I could be wrong, but I was reading up on this the other day. I still think that California is keeping schools open. I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't see them shutting. I'll tell you what, they won't. They definitely can't shut our country down to the extent they did over the last year. People are fucking done with it.
Yeah, people are done with it. I mean, you've seen like massive events, outdoor and indoor events all over the country since this Delta variant, as they like to call it. Right now, all the media is focusing on Florida and how there are all these crazy spikes in Florida. It's 58 people a day, dude. There's 20 million people in Florida. Yeah. It's 0.00002, a bunch of O's and then a 2.
Yeah.
It is a nominal amount.
For sure.
It is nothing. It is something that you wouldn't fucking blink at.
For sure.
Otherwise.
For sure.
Which is a problem, again, back to your point of the government weaponizing all of this information. And I think you're talking about a microcosm that's happening inside of a much larger thing. So it is a nuanced conversation between people's rights and health and all this other stuff. But the medical aspect of it is only one aspect. Commerce is also an aspect. We need money and business to stay alive, to keep our country strong, to fund all the things we need to do, including taking care of people who need to be taken care of. And
the only thing that I will say is that nobody can argue is the stress it's put on our medical system.
Sure.
I mean, you can't argue that, right?
I disagree with that, actually. I don't think that COVID is what's putting stress on our medical system.
You don't think it's, I mean, the hospitals are full.
I think shitty healthcare and a complete lack of diet and preventative care.
Well,
We spent 50 years telling people that grain is an important part of their fucking diet. Now all of a sudden they're fat pieces of shit and they're dying from a respiratory infection. Of course they are.
Yeah. So again, you look at this person. And here's what but again, it goes back to the variance, right? Like, why are we not educating people on how to get healthier? Instead, we're shutting the world down, right?
We're offering them French fries and donuts to get a fucking vaccine that does not prevent the fucking virus. 100%. Are you fucking kidding me?
Exactly.
Jesus Christ, dude. But people call me all the time. One of my buddies down at the Ozarks, his boss has offered him $500 to get the vaccine.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Who's putting pressure on that employer that would fucking be the case?
Well, I mean, I think I got the vaccine, but I also have to get, other vaccines, right? Mm-hmm. Just because of what we do. But I mean, I didn't have to get it, so let me say it up front. But the difference in me getting it and not is if I don't have it and I get what's called an exposure by our protocol, I don't have to miss a day of work, right? If I don't have the vaccine and I do have an exposure, I have to miss 10 to 14
Which is
days.
interesting because you, post-vaccination, have the same rate of infection and the same rate of viral shedding, right? Mm-hmm. That somebody that didn't have the vaccination and more so than somebody who just had COVID before.
I do, yeah.
Right? So that's fucking stupid. That is not science. And I refuse, I don't give a fuck how goddamn easier it makes people's lives. I will not ever support something that is anti-science like that. That's fucking stupid. That is science being warped and then weaponized, and that is a fucking recipe for disaster. The science in Germany in the 1930s was that the Jewish population were leeches, that they were predatory, that they were somehow evil, that they were stockpiling money, that they were doing all this stupid bullshit that the Nazis had convinced everyone. Only, I think, 10% of the entire German population was part of the Nazi party, which means 90% of the country allowed 10% to take over all of Europe and try to dominate the world and start a literal world war.
But that's normal.
That cannot happen here, right? So if you're the 90% that isn't part of this far right or far left fringe bullshit that's happening right now, then you better start fucking saying something.
I mean, look at Obama going into a 300-person party.
700. Yeah. His birthday, man. Hey, you got to celebrate. Look at the fucking D.C. mayor. She gives a fucking stay-at-home / mask order, and then 2 days later, she's fucking having a party of her own with 300 people. And that's what we're talking about today. Rules for thee, but not for me. Current Secretary of Commerce, Gina Raimondo, expected her constituents to follow lockdown rules that she herself was not willing to follow while she serves as governor of Rhode Island. I didn't know Rhode Island even had a governor, to be honest.
So just breaking news real quick. New York City officially becomes the first city in America to require vaccine passports.
Yeah, here come the fucking lawsuits now. And as soon as that reaches the Supreme Court, they're going to lose. I'm surprised they didn't wait, to be honest, to have some kind of movement on the Supreme Court, because they will not win this. There's no fucking way. That the composition of the current Supreme Court, there's no way they're going to fucking get mask mandates or vaccine passports passed. Anyways, in August of 2020, during the initial lockdown, like towards the tail end of the initial lockdown, Raimondo went on vacation to Block Island. God, stop fucking texting me. While there, Raimondo entered a store to ask for directions, during which time one of the owners asked for a photo with her. She removed her mask, took the photo, which led to an outcry on social media over her not following her own rules. Later that year, on December 7th, 2020, Raimondo posted a tweet, which read in part, quote, "Please stay at home except for essential activities and wear a mask anytime you're with people you don't live around. Together, we can turn around our case numbers." 10 days later, on the 17th of December, she was spotted again at a Christmas event being held at a wine bar. She was joined by multiple other attendees for the art and wine event, none of whom were wearing masks. That's one person, right? But there's dozens of these.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this last year with the mayor or the governor of California.
Mm-hmm. Newsom, yeah.
Newsom.
He went to the French Laundry. We'll get to him in a minute. Next up is our very own mayor, Steve Adler, who is a giant piece of shit.
Yes.
In December of 2020, Austin Mayor Steve Adler actually threatened his constituents with another stay-at-home order if residents failed to follow the previous restrictions put in place. The Democratic mayor posted the warning to his Facebook page, which stated the following: "We need to stay at home if you can. This is not the time to relax. We are going to be looking really closely. We being the government, we're going to be looking really closely. We may have to close things down if we are not careful." All this we bullshit. No, not we.
It's me.
He's talking about the government is going to look into your behavior. If they don't like it, they're going to shut it down. Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
I will beat your ass in the fucking streets of Austin. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Let's see
This
what Steve
fucking
Adler
clown.
looks like. I want to see if he could take you.
No, he's like 5'6".
Let me see.
Adler made the Facebook post while on vacation with his family in Cabo San Lucas for his daughter's fucking wedding. Just one day before making the threat on Facebook, he held an outdoor wedding reception for the daughter, hosting 20 guests at a hotel downtown. This is Pelosi all over again with her fucking hair.
Pelosi.
At the time of the wedding reception, the city was urging residents not to congregate in groups of more than 10 people. So he figured he would double that up just in case. He defended his decision by saying he had consulted with the interim health director about how to make the gathering as safe as possible. The mayor later admitted that guests were not always wearing masks during the event. So I don't know how he thought that was going to sound better, that he consulted with the interim health director. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like, oh, it's fine. I mean, I'm wealthy enough and have enough power to take care of myself and educate myself, but you guys are fucking too stupid to do it yourselves. That's the message these people fucking send on a regular basis. It is maddening.
Well, I can't figure out how tall Steve Adler is. I do think he might kick your ass though.
That's not.
But I think he knows jiu-jitsu.
Good Lord.
So anyways, yeah. So you might, before you threaten to beat his ass in the streets, you might want to.
He's 65.
Yeah. Well, he might.
Look at his fucking dumb face too.
Bro, do you think we could write a letter to him and see if he would fight you?
I'll fight him for charity. He can take all of his political war chest.
Hey, and I'll be
all of his campaign funds, and he can donate them to all the small businesses that went out of business forever.
And I'll be the doctor.
Yeah.
I'll be the doctor of the fight.
And I'll fucking wail on this dude. We'll do it for bare knuckle fighting championship.
Well, I don't know, man. Like, what if you got your ass beat by him? What if he got lucky and fucking hit you and knocked you out, and then he stood over you?
People like that.
What if he did?
People who
come on, role play with me. I know you're good at role playing. Brittany tells me.
People who make edicts like that have never been in a real fight in their life because they don't understand the consequences of saying ignorant shit. You know what I mean?
That might be what he says about you, about threatening to whoop his ass in the streets.
Well, I mean, you know where I live, Steve. Jesus Christ, you can look it up on your fucking voter rolls or whatever the fuck. Everybody knows.
He's going to come down here and he's going to put a fucking mask on you right
Can
here.
you imagine that? God, I would love that, actually. That dude's like fucking curled up.
What if he put a
crying.
mask on you and then he like walked out and told you he rubbed his balls in it right before you put it? He's like, I got your fucking vaccine right here, Dan.
Man, I don't know. I guess he'd probably win another term. That'd pretty much be the whole campaign right there.
Oh, man.
What a fucking piece of shit.
Anyways, he is fucking garbage, man. Yeah. But, I mean, are you surprised?
No, of course not. All
the same guy who,
cunts.
the same guy who, trying to defund Austin Police Department.
Yeah, he's pretty much been as ineffectual as any mayor could be because the governor wheelchair has shut him down every time he's tried to do something
Every
stupid,
time.
Which is really funny, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like he's a little fucking kid.
I think we take Governor Wheelchair out, and I think we call him Hot Wheels.
Yeah. No, well, Hot Wheels is already a guy from Nitro Circus, right? They have Nitro Circus has a guy in a wheelchair that does stunts and shit.
Oh, yeah.
I think his name is Hot Wheels. So I don't want to steal his thunder.
Would you shit if you went into the governor's office and he was in there and he had like one of those trick wheelchairs and like all he did in the back was fucking tricks and wheelies and shit?
What if he was in like a hamster wheel going like doing this, but it's going like all the way around?
What if you walked in his office and he was literally sitting on a treadmill with 2 hooks to it and his wheels just going? He's like,
and his forearms are just pulsating. And he's got invisible lat syndrome now. He's like, "Oh, what's up?" I'm like, "Whoa, Gov. Sorry."
Well, easy, Gov. Chill out, bro.
I didn't know that
Chill
you were in
out.
there.
He's like, "Yeah, man, I had a flat earlier."
You got to be careful as a wheelchair dude that you don't rip your dick off when you're pounding off. You know what I mean? Because you like get so muscular right there.
Yeah.
You get too into it one day and you're like, "Oh fuck," you're really milking it, and you just like pull that bastard off. Then you're in the middle of a King Missile song. You know what I mean?
Just ripped it off.
Yeah.
Do you think he's ever heard that somebody calls him Governor Wheelchair?
I hope so. I mean, Sean Spicer knows that we call him Spice Dog, so I don't know why Abbott wouldn't know that we call him Wheelchair.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to this. So, I mean, like I do love how I know we fuck around and talk about Governor Abbott all the time. I will say this, like, I don't like a lot of shit he does, but I do love how he always makes Adler his bitch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I do love how like Adler says something dumb, and then like a day later, you hear the governor come out and fucking smack his.
He doesn't even talk shit though. He's just like, "No, we're not doing that."
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Yeah, it's not happening, guys. It's good.
Imagine how small that makes him feel.
Yeah.
To be the governor of one of the most popular cities in the entire country, but he can't do anything because a governor who's in a wheelchair tells him no.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how crippled you sound right now? That's what he should say to Adler. That's a quote from Family Guy. One time, Joe Swanson, the dude in the wheelchair, was being a little bitch, and Peter just turned to him and goes, "Do you have any idea how crippled you sound right now?" And I laughed for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just on that one. I wish if I could catch Abbott saying that to Adler, that would be the best thing that's ever happened to me.
That would be fucking funny.
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
it?
would kill myself. Like as soon as I finished laughing, that would be the end of the good.
You can't top that.
No.
Yeah.
Sheila Kuehl, Kuehl. I'm assuming that's how you say that. In November of 2020, Los Angeles County Supervisor Sheila Kuehl voted to ban outdoor dining at over 31,000 restaurants in California. During a county board of supervisors meeting, Kuehl referred to outside dining as a major risk to the population, saying the following: "This is a serious health emergency, and we must take it seriously. The servers are not protected from us, and are not protected from their other tables that they're serving at that particular time, plus all the hours in which they're working." I don't know. That is a fucking nonsensical statement that doesn't have a clear beginning, middle, and end. But she's a politician, so what do you expect? She's a fucking muppet and a moron. A matter of hours after voting for the outdoor dining ban, like the same day, Kuehl was spotted eating at a restaurant called Il Forno. A spokesman for Kuehl gave a statement to Fox 11 soon after, stating the following: "She did dine at al fresco at Il Forno on the very last day it was permissible. She loves Il Forno and has been saddened to see it, like so many other restaurants, suffer from a decline in revenue."
What? What?
So she votes to have the fucking thing shut down. That's like being a gangster and murdering somebody and showing up to the fucking funeral, dude. Are you fucking kidding me?
That is.
God damn it. These people are the worst pieces of shit on earth.
Yeah.
You cannot be a bigger piece of shit than this one. Protests were later held outside of her home. I like how all these liberal politicians tried to rally people to confront Republicans and conservative politicians. Like, don't give them, like Maxine Waters was saying, to fucking start groups and chants around them when they're out in public and stuff like that, show up at their homes. And then when it happens to them, it's all of a sudden fucking terrorists. You can fucking burn down federal buildings and police stations all summer long, right? Kill 40 fucking people, cost $2 billion worth of damage, but 300 fucking retard hillbillies walk into the Capitol to take selfies, and all of a sudden it's the worst insurrection in the history of this country. Get the fuck out of here, man. And all these fucking bitches like Adam Kinzinger crying on stage, "Oh, God, I thought the democracy was coming down." Let me ask you this, Adam, since you're a fucking military guy. I mean, the Air Force, so military guy, right? The most armed part of the most armed population on earth show up with the intent to overthrow the government and not one person brought a gun? Seems a little fishy, right? Maybe they just showed up because they were angry, right? And maybe some things got out of hand with 300 people out of the 1.3 million that were there. And good for them if they send them all to jail. I don't give two fucks about any one of those people, to be honest. But let's stop pretending with the theater. Like the police, the Capitol police officers that are crying during these testimony stuff.
But again,
holy fucking shit.
But man, again, so, I mean, I'm still friends with Adam. I like him. But with all the protest shit, I'm all about, like, send them all to fucking jail. I'm in. Like, right? Fuck, throw away the key. Nobody cares. If they're that stupid, they honestly don't even deserve to be walking around in fucking public free. Second off, what I don't think's okay is what are we going to do with all these motherfuckers that burnt down the cities? Like, why is there no accountability for all that?
I mean, not only is there no accountability,
like that's my only
there's
problem.
There's no outcry for any accountability.
No, that's my problem with it. My problem is that I seen a lot worse violence. I seen a lot worse shit go on than the Capitol riots. Why are they the only ones getting held accountable?
Because they are associated with Trump, and it's important for the narrative of the left to cast Trump not as an anti-politician populist, which is what he was, but as a threat to democracy, right?
Yeah.
Like that's how you frame that so as to prevent that from catching hold again, because that's their kryptonite.
The point
if people
of it
start
is,
thinking for themselves and applying reason and logic to the decisions they make, instead of just having a bullet list of, I believe in these things and this group is more closely associated, so I'm going to vote for this group no matter what. That's what they depend on.
Yeah, but the point of it is you know as well as I do, it's not fucking right. It doesn't make sense.
No, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
What does make sense is Ghost Bed, bitch.
Oh, man, Ghost Bed, bitches.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ghost Bed.
I'm a huge fan of Ghost Bed. Ghost Bed is is by far the best bed company on the face of the planet. Ghost Bed, you can go over there. They've supported those that support us since day one, way before, as I always say, it was COVID cool, because there's a lot of COVID cool shit going on, but Ghost Bed's always been a huge supporter. They've been a huge supporter of the podcast for a long time. Just incredible people, and they back up what they say. And do they only support everybody else? They make badass products, right? I mean, how many people give really a 20-year warranty on a bed?
You could also try it out for 101 nights for free.
101 nights.
Send it back. So they're very confident in their product. The cooling technology is great,
especially for fat guys like me.
Yeah, here in Texas, it's hard to keep your house cool.
It is,
even with like
AC.
It's like you got to keep all the windows closed and shit. Yeah. It's really hot. They also offer bundles so you can get everything you need all at one time.
30% off. They still get run 30. I think they're around 30% off right now, site wide.
Yeah, so you don't even really have to think about it. You just choose from one of the 4 mattresses they provide, then you pick your bundle. So the bundle, like mattress and frame. If you don't have a frame, the cooling pillows, the sheets. That way you get all the best bang for your buck. Now we're having a flash sale right now, so 40% off all Ghost Bed bundles when you get a mattress and an adjustable base. 40% off. If you get a mattress and an adjustable base, it's 40% off. 30% off everything else on the store if you go to Drinker Bros. If you use the code Drinker Bros at ghostbed.com/Drinker Bros.
And on top of it, they do 0% down financing, pay as you go. So, go check it out. They make it affordable.
Yeah, so check it out at ghostbed.com/Drinker Bros.
That's ghostbed.com/drinking bros.
Yeah, and we got stamps.com. Again, if you're starting a small business or got a small business right now and you don't want to travel back and forth to the post office all the time, stamps.com has got you covered. Go to stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the home page and type in American. Stamps.com saves businesses thousands of hours a year, and it saves us quite a bit of time as well. A lot of people started businesses, private businesses, over the last year to make extra revenue, or finally they had some time off of work, or they were working from home, so they had a little more time to do the stuff that they wanted to do before. mail and ship anytime, anywhere, right from your computer, send letters, ship packages, and you're going to end up paying a lot less. They bundle you with a lot of other small businesses, so you get a fucking rate that is commensurate with a much larger business than yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Great stuff. So they will send you the scale to weigh your shit. Yeah. Don't use it for anything else. They'll send you the scale to weigh your shit, the printers to print out the labels and all this stuff. Then you just drop your stuff off.
The printers or the predators?
Printer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way. Anyways, stop wasting your time. Go to the post office. I hate it. I hate going to the post office. It is, and it's not even, I feel like most of the post office I go to, the postal employees are fine, but the people that go to the post office are either super old.
Karens.
There's a lot of Karens. There's a lot of super old people that just don't know where they are or what's happening. They jam the lines up. It is a fucking nightmare in there. And they don't have the stuff you need on
hand half the
time. Yeah. It's, why go through all that when you can just have it all going through stamps.com through the private company? It doesn't make any sense. So stop wasting your time going to the fucking post office. Go to stamps.com. There's no risk. With our promo code American, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and the digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. You can stop it whenever you want. Just go to stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in American. That's stamps.com, and the promo code is American. Never go to the post office again. That's good advice for anybody. Right there.
Hell yeah. Now back. Gavin Newsom.
This motherfucker.
Gavin Newsom.
He's now tied, by the way. There's a new poll that came out today. The recall against anybody, he's tied. That's bad.
Yeah.
That means regardless of who the other candidate is, people are like 50-50. Like, yeah, he's out of here. And those polls always in California lean left. So he's fucked.
Well, I got to tell you, I know it's one of your favorite guys, so don't want to piss you off on what I'm about to say about him. But in October of 2020, I don't even want to call him governor, but Gavin Newsom placed tight restrictions on public gatherings due to COVID. They were like the first ones to be the lead on this. It's almost like everybody wanted to race on who could shut down who the most, right? Gatherings of more than 3 households were prohibited, whether held indoors or outdoors. The guidelines also stated that all attendees must wear face masks and maintain 6 feet of distance between each person. On November 6th, Newsom was spotted attending a multi-family party being held for one of his staff members near Napa Valley at a restaurant called French Laundry. Now, I just have to know, do these people, it's one or two things. Do they not think somebody's going to take a photo and send it out? Or do they just not give a fuck enough and they're just going to do whatever the fuck they want and they don't care what anybody thinks?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think maybe they believe that everyone else should also believe that the expectation is that they're above the rules.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
The governor later issued a statement which read in part, "While our family followed the restaurant's health protocols and took safety precautions, we should have modeled better behavior and not joined the dinner."
Yeah, but that's not
shit.
But that's not true. The family didn't follow the restaurant's health protocols because somebody actually released a photo and it showed everybody sitting there, not outside, but inside, not 6 feet apart, and also not wearing masks. So that's a fucking lie.
Yeah.
At what point, as the governor of a state or an elected official in general, can you be caught lying directly to the public and that not constitute some kind of crime? I think there should be a law in government similar to perjury laws, right? In the court system, in the judicial system, that say if you get caught lying directly to the public through a press release or statement from your office, you fucking are gone.
Yeah.
Forever.
Well,
like you lose your job immediately.
That's the problem. That's called accountability.
Yeah.
Shortly afterwards, Newsom put 41 of the state's 58 counties in the most restrictive tier of lockdown due to the climbing infection numbers. The lockdown banned indoor dining, gyms, movie theaters, and church services. Last month, Newsom was criticized for photos of his children attending summer camp without wearing masks after he implemented a statewide guidance requiring children to wear masks while attending camps. What the fuck? What the fuck?
So this was just last month, right?
Just last month.
So this is now a full year of Gavin Newsom telling people what to do and then refusing to accept responsibility for his own behavior.
I'll say this though. I mean, I have to think that like this is probably the only 2 times he's ever not followed.
Oh yeah,
his own
for
rules.
sure. Yeah.
You know, over the last year he just got caught unluckily.
That's probably not true. Hard to say, but
London Breed. Hey,
that's the San Francisco mayor, by the way. So he actually went in reverse, which is he went to the French Laundry with Gavin Newsom first, and then he banned indoor dining. The idea that a fucking elected official, somebody that works for me, can tell me what to do is the wildest shit of all time. Like that, we specifically set this form of government up so as to avoid that shit, right? Like the entire U.S. Constitution is about limiting. The Constitution isn't about giving rights to the government. It's about taking rights away from the government, right, and giving them back to the people. That's why the Constitution
it says we
exists.
the people.
Yeah. Well, it's also why the 9th and 10th Amendment take any power not listed there from the federal government and give it back to either the state or the people, right? It's one of those 2 things. And every other fucking mention in the Constitution and in the Bill of Rights is a delimiter, right, for federal authority. It doesn't give a list of all the shit that the government should be allowed to do. And then we come up with U.S. code, right? All of these laws and the IRS, all these fucking codes that add on to all these laws, all of that shit is unconstitutional. Like nothing in there falls under according to the original documentation for this country, falls under the purview of the federal government. Certainly not the ability to tell me that I can't fucking run my fucking business with other people that are doing the same thing. This is the equivalent of when homosexuality was illegal, right? What I choose to do in the privacy of my own home with other consenting people is none of your goddamn business. And if it's my business and I'm doing business there with other consenting adults who have agreed to come in there, none of your goddamn business. I didn't like the fact that the government got involved and told some fucking bigots that they couldn't make cakes for gay people. Frankly, I thought that was a horrible decision. I don't give a fuck if, go somewhere else and get your cake made, but definitely talk about it so I know not to go to that fucking bigoted cake place. That's a real easy solution without the government getting fucking involved.
So this is on my birthday. And just because you brought this up, I think we need to do a show next week on let's go through like a lot of these huge moments in the country of when things became legal.
Mm-hmm.
What year do you think same-sex marriage became legal in America?
2014, I think.
2015.
15, yeah. It was that's when the Supreme Court finally
ruled.
Isn't
that crazy?
No, not really. I mean, it is crazy in general, but what's really crazy is that Obama and Hillary Clinton were both anti-marriage equality until 2013 when their hand got forced by Joe Biden saying that they were pro on Good Morning America, right? If Biden didn't have dementia and say stuff in public he wasn't supposed to say, we may still not have marriage equality right now. So who knows, man? I don't know. There's another guy, Michael Hancock, here.
Dude, hold on.
Yep.
I want to go a little bit further.
Yeah.
Did you know... do you know when sexual acts between persons of the same sex became legal in the United States?
No.
Just take a guess. No, don't look. I want you to take a guess.
No, I'm not. Well, I mean, it depends on the state. Some states still have anti-sodomy laws. But federally, maybe the 90s.
2003.
Okay.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah. Yeah, we've been getting involved in people's personal lives for a long time.
Holy fuck.
Maybe that's just emboldened politicians to think that they have a right to say something, but they don't. You know what I mean? Like, imagine being an employer, right? Imagine owning you own a bunch of rental properties, for example, and you hire a management company to take care of it. And all of a sudden, the management company, you want to go stay in one of your rental properties for the week, and the management company tells you can't, or tells you have to follow X, Y, and Z rules to live there for a couple of days, or whatever the case is. You would fucking burn that place to the goddamn ground. Because that is a ridiculous fucking, a preposterous notion. that somebody who works for me would be able to tell me what to fucking do. The point of having those politicians is simply to organize the will of the people, the collective will of the people, into a set of rules that we all agree to follow, not to give us edicts. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? What are we doing here? Dude. This is the wildest shit I've ever seen in my life. The way that we've completely lost our fucking minds.
Dude, and I'll tell you what next week we're going to do a show. We're going to pull up all these, let's list the top 10 things in the woke movement. Like, what is woke, right? Like all this. And then you know what I want to do? I want to go down to all these people, all these politicians, and on which stance they had 10 years ago.
Yeah.
On all these fucking things today that they're running their fucking campaigns off of. And they are just basically using these woke movements to fuel their campaign and make them fucking money. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that's politics used to be, you know, you try to do the best, or the intent rather is you try to do the best for the most amount of people. And then it became polling, right? I'm going to fucking run out a couple of lines and see which one see which one will get the public the most tuned up. And then that's what I'm going to lean into. And that's all. It's just the outrage Olympics. That's all it is.
I like that. Okay.
Michael Hancock, Denver Mayor Michael Hancock in November 2020 posted several statements on Twitter urging Denver residents to stay home for Thanksgiving. In an email to city staff on November 18th, he stated, "As the holidays approach, we all long to be with our families, but with the continued rise in cases, I'm urging you to refrain from travel this Thanksgiving holiday." The day before Thanksgiving, he tweeted, "Avoid travel if you can." 30 minutes after posting the tweet, he boarded a flight to Houston on his way to Mississippi to spend Thanksgiving with his family. Thanks, bro. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Here we go. This guy's a real fucking tool.
Instated quarantine requirements in November 2020 for any resident who had traveled to any COVID hotspot. Among the hotspots listed was Delaware, which happened to be the location of a political rally being held by Joe Biden. Mayor Bowser traveled to Delaware against her own guidelines to attend the rally. Upon her return, the mayor defended her actions by claiming the trip was essential travel and therefore exempt from the order. So essential travel includes doing political rallies for a guy with dementia, I guess. Mayor also ignored the lockdown requirements when she allowed a rally in celebration of Joe Biden's presidential election. More recently, Mayor Bowser officiated a wedding without wearing a mask to the very same day that her new mask mandate went into effect. The wedding ceremony itself was outside, but the reception was held indoors, and multiple photos show the mayor interacting with guests without a mask. Lori Lightfoot, also known as Beetlejuice, maybe the least attractive human being that's ever held political office.
I'm going to check her out.
You're going to fucking have a reaction to that, so I just want to get the live. Go ahead and switch to him. You can see that live reaction.
Mayor of Chicago?
Yeah. Yep, there it is. Pupils dilated. Fear is what you're seeing right there. That's fear, ladies and gentlemen, from a Medal of Honor recipient.
Dude.
Yep, big time. She admonished residents complaining about the closure of hair salons due to lockdown. According to the mayor, getting your roots done is not essential. That's a direct quote. Days later, Lori Lightfoot had a salon reopen just so she could have her hair done. In her defense, she claimed the following.
She needs it.
"I'm the public face of this city. I'm on the national media, and I'm out in the public eye." Bro. A few months later, she posted a video of herself addressing a crowd through a bullhorn without wearing a mask.
Dude.
The gathering was in response to the election of Joe Biden. So that's another... that was one of the first in the lines of hypocritical nonsense. So they talked all summer about two things. One, social justice and how it's understandable that people would burn down half the fucking country. The other one was don't go outside because you might get somebody sick.
I'll tell you.
They went outside to celebrate. Are you fucking kidding me?
I 100% support her opening up anything that she can do to work on herself.
Yeah. Yeah, she certainly needs the help. She said that when called out about attending the rally, said the following: "The crowd was gathered whether I was there or not." That's a real lead by example moment, isn't it? Andrew Cuomo, who hopefully will go to prison for sexually harassing people and then breaking the law to cover it up, right? Last year, and stated mask mandates and quarantine guidelines for people who had traveled to specific COVID hotspots. Among those were Georgia, meaning any New York resident who visited the state would be required to quarantine for 14 days upon their return to New York. In July of 2020, Cuomo was photographed in Georgia interacting with multiple people in close quarters, all without wearing a mask. Cuomo was also not required to quarantine upon returning to New York, saying that he was, quote, essential and therefore not required to follow the mandate. It reminds me of a quote from Robin Hood, the movie Robin Hood with Russell Crowe. King John is addressing the barons in the crowd when they were asking for a Bill of Rights, basically for regular people in England. And he said, "What do you all expect, a castle?" And Robin Longstride, I guess was his name in the movie, said, to an Englishman, everyone's home is their castle, right? That's the fucking point.
That's right.
So this idea that you're essential and somebody else isn't, all of this is essential. Somebody's privately owned business that puts food on their family's table, that is as essential as your fucking bullshit grandstanding in the government. Motherfucker, are you kidding me?
I mean, he also had some sexual assault to do.
Yeah, I mean, look, you need to have people around when you're sexually assaulting them. That's proximity is required for that.
You can't do it from 6 feet away.
No, well, I mean, you can maybe with your eyes.
Yeah.
Or if he shows them his pierced nips.
He's got pierced nips? No.
Look it up. Again, we're going to have to get the camera on him. Definitely going to need to see his reaction to this, so make it happen. Yeah. You seeing that?
Oh, dude, you can see.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Weird, huh?
Oh, my gosh.
What do you think about that?
That is a whole nother level.
Not really what you would expect out of a 65-year-old man, but then you hear about all the weird shit he did to these women, and I guess it kind of makes sense. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
And now this guy is the one trying to, well, not trying to. They're going to follow suit, I would imagine, with de Blasio's New York City ruling and expand the vaccine passports all over the state of New York. I would assume, right?
I don't know.
That's kind of how it goes up there. So I guess we'll see. Guess we'll see how that goes. The last piece of shit on our list.
She is a true piece of shit.
Is Nancy Pelosi. We could spend all day talking about this person because of the insider trading, her role in the Obamacare debacle. I don't know if you recall what she said, but it was something to the effect of, we have to get this bill passed so we can see what's in it, which seems like not great. Maybe you should have read the damn thing before. I mean, the bill got published, and it was 3,500 pages or some shit, and they had 3 days to read it before they were going to vote on it or something like that. I don't remember exactly how that went down, but I know that it's like entirely preposterous. So everybody remembers this one. Last year, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi was exposed for attending a shutdown hair salon in San Francisco without wearing a face mask. At the time, all non-essential businesses had been closed to the public, including the salon she visited. In the photos and videos of the incident, Pelosi can be seen walking around the salon without a mask, while all the employees were adhering to indoor mask guidelines. A spokesperson for Pelosi defended her action, saying, quote, "The business offered for the speaker to come in on Monday and told her they were allowed by the city to have one customer at a time in the business." Erica Kias, I don't know how you say her name, the owner of the salon, later said it was a slap in the face that she went in, that she feels she can just go and get her stuff done while no one else can go in and I can't work, which is a reasonable response, by the way.
Oh, true.
Like if that's the equivalent of telling your child because I said so, which I don't think is an appropriate thing to tell a child, much less an adult with rights, right? Like you can't come shut my fucking business down. This is a real fucking problem right now. Mm-hmm. And we'll get to some of the other stuff here in a minute. But last month, Pelosi directed Capitol Police to arrest any staff or visitors to the Capitol if they failed to wear a mask. Let's say that again. Nancy Pelosi directed Capitol Police to arrest any staff or visitors to the Capitol if they failed to wear a mask. Now, she openly admitted after the fact, or her staff did, that she couldn't make that declaration because she doesn't have the authority to do it. But she's the one that requested it, and the Capitol Police are fulfilling that request.
No, I don't think they did. I don't think they've arrested anybody.
They may not have arrested anybody, but they're the Capitol Police are the ones that published the document saying that was the intent. Anyways, her memo reads in part, quote, if a visitor or staff member fails to wear a mask after a request is made to do so, the visitor or staff shall be shall be denied entry to House office buildings or the House side of the Capitol. Any person who fails to either comply or leave the premises after being asked to do so would be subject to an arrest for unlawful entry. It would actually be for trespassing, not unlawful entry. That's not. She's an idiot. She doesn't even know the fucking.
And then
law,
just
probably.
a few days ago, she violated her own guidelines and ditched her mask to take a photo with a buddy of mine, Jake LZ, who is a really good guy, veteran, who's running representative from Texas. So, I mean, what the fuck, man?
Well, so far, at least 3 Republican representatives have been giving $500 fines for failing to wear masks while on the House floor. I think that every single Republican should walk in every single day without a mask and refuse to fucking wear it. It's not about the mask. It's about you telling me what I have to do. You cannot tell me what I have to do here or anywhere else. That's just how this fucking country is designed to work. We decide as a group what is or is not acceptable, and then we hold people accountable to that standard. Nancy Pelosi by herself, right, or the 218 or so, however many it is, Democratic Congress people, don't get to decide what the entire fucking country has to do. That is not how this is set up. Fuck those people.
Yeah.
And these mask mandates and potential shutdowns that people are talking about now coming back down the pipe, I think we have reached the point now where if people try to enforce this shit again and shut down businesses again, there will have to be some kind of conflict. People will have to stay open. And if police or military or whomever else tries to enforce that shit, you have to fight back against them. That's where I think we are.
I look forward to seeing all these the people who come comment on my shit about me calling them LARPers.
Yeah.
Standing up for this country. They're about to have a fucking opportunity, man.
Well, they had all summer last year to do that too.
Yeah. So we're about to see, like, hopefully.
From what I could tell, only one 17-year-old did anything about it. Rittenhouse, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he seems like a good kid, to be honest. I don't. People have differing opinions. I honestly don't think his mom should have dropped him off in another state with a rifle. Probably. No. That seems like, for a 17-year-old, it seems like a bad idea. But the way he responded, frankly, I don't think he did anything wrong.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact he shouldn't have been there.
He shouldn't have been there in the first place, and that's not great, right? But if somebody comes up and tries to swing a skateboard at my head, I'm going to shoot him in the fucking face. If they come up with a Glock, I'm going to shoot him through the bicep. You know what I mean? The way he reacted once he was in that bad situation.
Oh, we're not
was completely fucking reasonable in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you can't blame a 17-year-old for that if his
I think his mom should go to jail with him.
I don't think he should go to jail at all. I think his mom should fucking get fined or something. You gotta make something happen there that a parent doesn't drop their 17.
I mean, let me ask you this: if my child right now went and did something, who would be held accountable?
Yeah, you for sure, but that's not the point.
That's the point.
The point, I don't think you should be able to charge the parent for, I mean, what would you even charge her with? Maybe reckless endangerment.
Who?
His mom. Like maybe putting a child in danger or some shit like that. I don't know what the consequences for that would be, but I don't know.
I mean, he has to at least get 1 endangerment charges.
Why?
I mean, he was hit in the head by a skateboard. Nobody drew a gun on him.
Being hit in the head with above the shoulders with a blunt object is considered attempted murder. So he is well within his rights to use lethal force at that point. This happened in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, at the
That's definitely the law in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That's a standard ground fucking state, I believe. So I don't think anything that kid did was wrong, except for being there in the first place. And I don't think,
which is what got him all that.
for sure, yeah. But again,
I mean, but what parent is letting a 17-year-old, especially dropping him off,
yeah,
go fuck around with a rifle in riots?
yeah. I don't know if I actually don't know 100% of that case. Did he take the rifle from home with him, or was it just there?
I mean, that's a
because
whole
he
lot.
was there to help clean up some vandal or some people had vandalized stuff, and he was there to help clean it up originally.
Why is he carrying a gun?
I don't know if it was there on the site with him and he grabbed it and ran out there because people were fucking something else
No,
up.
I think
what?
he had his own.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If that's the case, if mom sent him up there with a gun,
they
that's
crossed
problematic.
state lines.
Well, I mean, you can cross state lines with a rifle as long as you're not selling it.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, why are you going that far? I mean, it's not like it's your fucking street in front of your house.
I don't know. He lived in like a rural area, and I think he just went to the city.
Oh, real close.
Yeah, they're right across the border there.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it. Either way, all I can say is look, you when you go look for problems and you get problems, don't bitch about having problems.
Yeah, for sure. But when you're going to look for when the version of problems you're going to look for has the intent of trying to help and not harm people. Like if he was going out in the street, patrolling the street, looking for people to fuck with, that'd be one thing. But that clearly was not the case, right? A bunch of shit was going down, and you can tell by how he acted after that shit happened. He was running away, first of all, so the duty to retreat, if one did exist, was satisfied.
Yeah,
then he turned around to shoot because the guy was trying to fucking brain him. You don't think you can beat somebody to death with a skateboard? Of course you can.
Yeah, I mean, of course you can.
Then the guy shows up with a Glock. He gets shot as well. All those people got what were coming to him, in my opinion.
I mean, I don't know enough about it. I mean, either way. But I mean, at the end of the day, like...
definitely the mob should not have allowed him to be up there and all that
He's
chaos.
17 years old. He felt like he should do something. Probably wasn't the right thing looking back now of what he did.
You could call it a failure of the parent. I would say it's a failure of the entire fucking American political system that it got to that point in the first place, that people felt like they had to go out in the street with guns to defend their own property. That whole narrative that
the kid doesn't even own property though.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I got it.
But it's John Locke. It's property rights in general, the rights of man. You know what I mean?
I got it. But like, this kid's 17 years old. Again, you know what I mean. Long story short, like he should not have been there. Nobody can argue he should not have been there. He had no business.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, but he was there, and then that shit happened. So are you going to charge him with these ridiculous, like charge him with fucking first-degree murder because he happened to be there and somebody tried to hit him in the fucking head with a thing?
I think all, like I said, I don't know like all the details of it, but I mean all the people he shot, self-defense. But I mean either way, he shouldn't have been there. Like I mean, like you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when we. It's kind of like when we look at people and, look, no matter how you look at it and skin the cat, right or wrong, it's like whenever people look at George Floyd and they go, well, he was a drug addict, he was high on drugs, this and that. Well, either way, like, the cop shouldn't have fucking kneeled on his fucking neck forever, right?
Right.
On his There's just so many different wrongs of, like, how we got to that point, right? Like, there was so many fucking things that went wrong. Yeah, George Floyd shouldn't have done a shit ton of drugs before he got there. He shouldn't have fucking been done all this shit, right? 100%.
Well, I guess
the cop shouldn't have, the cop should have handled it a little different. Like,
how far back are we willing to go?
Well, and that's the point.
Look for justice, right?
That's the
like. Are we going back to? Because once he got there, what he did, I think, was not incorrect by any stretch. Maybe his mom bringing him there was incorrect, but maybe his mom bringing him there was in response to the government failing. So how do you go back and charge them with something too? Can you charge the government for reckless endangerment?
Right?
That's exactly the fucking point.
But you get my point, right? Like either way, it could have all. Look, I don't know what the case is. It could have all. Period. It could have all been fucking avoided.
Yeah. Well, a lot of things could be avoided.
Not me and you being together.
Oh God, you're gonna have to talk. Brittany will be here Friday, so you can talk to her about that.
Well,
she'll be here. She'll be here today, I guess, because this airs Friday.
She's going to have to get on board with that.
Good luck with all that bullshit. So.
Well, there's no luck in this. There are no options, and Brittany better get on board with me and you being together.
As long as there is fucking breath in her lungs, there are options, right? And they're probably going to be violent. So,
not when it comes to you, they're not.
Dakota versus Brittany.
Let's do it.
Like, what do you want to do? Boxing, decathlon. Do you have any 22 rifles?
Bro, I got we can get whatever.
I don't like shooting 22s that much though.
Why are we shooting 22s?
Decathlon.
No.
Isn't that one of the events? Don't you shoot a rifle in that event?
Let's do.
Yeah.
What's a competition me and Brittany could have?
Spelling contest.
Broad beater.
No. Crayon eating contest you'd win for sure.
Dude, are you kidding me? I am a.
Spell something right now. Go.
G-O.
Wrong. Right there. One opportunity and you were fucking wrong.
I spelled go, G-O.
No. You said Geo like him.
Wrong. W-R-O-N-G.
You're supposed to say the word again after you.
Wrong.
See, you fucked it up.
Ask me another question.
No.
Tinnitus.
Tinnitus?
No. Get your hands off your keyboard, bitch. It's T-I-N-I-T-U-S. You fucking,
No, it's not. It's T-I-N-N-I. See, you suck.
2 N's.
You fucking suck.
It's
Yeah.
2 N's. I corrected it before
How
you
many
did.
degrees you got? Bro, I'm a fucking doctor.
90.
You understand me?
I've got 98
Hey,
degrees.
do it. Do it. Look, hey, look at me. Call me doctor.
No, I will never.
Call me fucking doctor. Okay, so we need to have this competition. What's a competition that me and Brittany can have?
Well, I don't know. We're going to have to think about it. We'll have to think about it. We'll come back next week. She'll be in the studio next week while we're recording on whatever days. Wednesday when we're live. And you guys can fucking hash it out. How about that?
Deal.
Until then, we'll see you in hell.
See you in hell.